Hello to all the lovely people out there, and welcome to my channel where I talk about living in Japan while on the JET program, investing in finance, traveling abroad, and things like that. So if you're interested in any of these things, feel free to like or subscribe. So in this video, I want to talk specifically about what advice my fifth year self, never thought I'd be saying that, but what my fifth year self would tell me right before I started JET, or right when I started JET. So these are just from some insights that I got from working here, or some things that I see in retrospect would have been very good to do. Yeah, so in other words, these are just things that are really good to do, either to research or just kind of focus on while on JET or before JET. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I really wish I did, my lazy ass did not do this. Lazy as hell, I did not study much Japanese before I came here, or even when I was here for the first, 3 years. Like, make a phone call or go into a restaurant, and people would say stuff to me, like Keigo, or even if it's not Keigo, people would say stuff to me, and I would just be like, not even a language, just like garbling nothing to them. So studying Japanese and getting a little better at it has really, really enriched my time here. I'm able to talk to people. I think people are kind of happy when they see that you're actually trying to learn the language, and when you try to communicate with them, that kind of opens up people a little bit to you. Yeah, you can get a lot more insights with people. I think maybe like a month ago, I was in Kyoto, and my friend and I were talking to a guy who told us that he was in Hiroshima, like when the bomb went off, and he saw it, and he like ate seaweed that was like black, and he ate it, and then he like couldn't move for 2 days. Sorry, that's really dark, but he said it in Japanese, and if we didn't understand it, like, we would have missed that whole kind of extra side quest to JET. Like, that's a really niche thing that you wouldn't hear or be able to experience. So it really helps you connect with the people. I think that's really beautiful. So yeah, really regret not doing that. Next thing, number 2, make a rough plan of how you want to use your time on JET, because you're gonna have a lot of time. You're gonna have a lot of free time. Depends on the school, of course. My school, we don't have quite as much, but even in between classes, you're gonna have an hour or 2 hours. So with that time, you could squeeze in studying Japanese. You could squeeze in an online course like Coursera. Over the course of how long you're here, even if it's 1 year or as long as 5 years, you're gonna have a very long amount of time that you could utilize for other things. So I think it's a very good idea to set milestones for how you want to use this time. It's really easy for the time to just slip away, and you're just on your phone, you're on Reddit. But after 3 years of working here, when you have downtime at your desk, in summers you're going to have months of downtime. In March, for most people, you're going to have a month where you don't do anything. You could utilize this time and either get really marketable skills, you could learn coding, you could get an online master's. I have a few friends who are getting online masters. So really try to think how you want to use this time before you even start on JET. Otherwise, it's really easy for it to just kind of slip away, and you don't want to look back and be like, I had, an equivalent of like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months where I could have done something incredible with my time, but I didn't do it. So try to think of what you would want to do at that time. So a good way to do that, is set milestones. So that you don't have to commit to them, but I think it's good just to kind of help you think about it. Like, for example, if you know you want to go into teaching, you might want to get an online master's in education while you're here. So set that as like your ultimate milestone. And then maybe on your year 1 here, you can like apply for that, save up some money and get some funding for it. And then year 2 would be actually enroll and then start taking that. Yeah, and then along with the milestones, I think it's good to set intervals to check in on your milestones and how you're utilizing your time, and if you're happy with that. So maybe, for example, set every like January 7th and July 7th, and just check in, have a little date with yourself, get a little wine, get a little crackers, and then really check in and kind of reflect on how you're using your time, if that's benefiting you and like resonating with what you really want. So I wish I did that. Instead, I was on Reddit all the time and like Facebook, and while it's like okay-ish in the moment, you don't get anything with that. If you're okay with that, fine, but if you're like me, you're like, oh my god, I'm trying to do everything, why didn't I do anything? So it's good to have an open mind and try to be conscious of that. Yeah, so like I said too, one thing I also kind of wish I did is I wish I enrolled in classes like Coursera to kind of keep my skills sharp. I'm noticing for some reason, ironically, I'm an English teacher, but my English skill is decreasing. I had to even think about the word decreasing. I was like, going down, what do I say? I don't know. Decreasing. I can't even speak English anymore, so it's really important to try to stay sharp. If you're in a field that's not English and you want to go back into it, you're going to want to stay up to date on what's in that field. I did engineering, so for example, it'd be good to like read articles that are relevant to what you studied. You could contact some people in your relevant field on LinkedIn if they're in your area and like get coffee with them. So that is also a very good use of time, which I wish I did, which I did not do. So learn from my mistakes, please. Then it'll at least help someone, please. Ah, man. All right, so you have study Japanese so far. Make a rough plan of how you use your time, and then try to go for those goals. So education, whatever. Online class to keep yourself sharp. And then last one, the finance one. Try to set up some sort of retirement account before you come here. So at least for Americans, your money that you earn here in Japan is not going to be eligible for retirement accounts such as Roth IRA or traditional IRA. And if you don't know what those are just little retirement accounts where you stick your money in, boop, and then it grows over time, and the money's either taxed before you put it in or after, depending on which one you choose. But the money you earn on JET is not eligible. So if you come here and you are only earning money on JET, that money is excluded from your earned income. So long story short, you can't put that in a retirement account. So do it beforehand. For example, if you had a job before you entered JET, so in that same year, if you earned income at a job in the US or in your country, you can take that money and you can put it in, and then it'll grow. So don't block yourself out from these potential earnings on your retirement. That's something I did. So now my only earned income is in Japan. I can't do anything. But when I first started JET, before coming on JET, I started working at like Home Depot and a homeless shelter, and I had some money from that. I could have put that into my retirement account, just set that all aside. That's earned in America. That's qualified. So I put that into a retirement account, then come here, and that money would be growing while I'm here. So that's like potential money that I could have earned that I just didn't have. So it's a very good thing to look into if you're just about to leave for JET, or if you are actually just starting JET and you had earned income within this past year. You can still invest that until about April or May of next year. So look into that. All right. I hope this can help you. Please learn from my mistakes, which are plentiful. So please learn from my mistakes and let me know in the comments. How do you feel? How are you feeling about JET? Is there anything you're worried about? How are you feeling about the money? How are you feeling about all the time? How do you want to use it? You want to go to school? Study Japanese? I'm curious. Let me know. Until then, we'll see you next time.